Nikocado Avocado, a documentary by Jalilio.
2 steps ahead. I am always 2 steps ahead.
Was he the villain or the hero? To me, neither. He was mistreated and was a casualty in the war that we started. And that's why I will be discussing his downfall. Section 1, the hero in the mukbang stained suit. With any good story, there's morals. But in any good story, there's also a happy ending. And I don't know if he's going to receive that. He started off simple, making small vlogs and describing how good it would be to be vegan. Then it kind of took a sharp turn with the start of his mukbang videos. Now, in case you were unaware, this is the same man I showed you, and that to the right of him is his boyfriend. Now you might ask, how does one man become like this? Well, it started into madness with his first couple of mukbang videos, but mainly had to do with the involvement with his boyfriend in his mukbang videos. It started with eggs, like healthy stuff, but not anymore. Evolved into madness very closely after. YouTube did this. Young Nicholas Perry had a life ahead of him. He had a boyfriend. He had a successful YouTube channel. And I think he had just graduated college. But in every story, there's a villain. And you'd think it'd be him. But no. The same company who made him who he is today ruined him. And that's YouTube. They could have done something. But they chose not to. You want to know why? Because of money. He was the most popular mukbang YouTuber out there. And they knew he was getting a lot of money from this. And that money fueled him. Fueled him like fire. Like a matchstick and a can of gasoline, he exploded into fame. But it got to his head, and he forgot who he was. Section 3, Deadly Sins. Young Perry was at a battle against himself and YouTube. I personally believe he is the incarnation of the 7 deadly sins. Call me stupid and crazy, but I will give you each 7 and why they fit into him almost perfectly. First up, pride. Now, I don't mean that in the gay way, but rather in the fact he took pride over the fact his body was being destroyed and how he never took thought. Greed, the sin of the fox. It's very easy to see where he got greedy. His greed ties in with gluttony, ever consuming, waiting for his body to give in. But it never did. It hung on. It got to his head. He took making videos over his own health, making videos over his relationship, making videos over his life. And that's where it went wrong. Lust, the sin of the goat. He lusted over the fact that he could make a quick dollar, ruining his life. He lusted over the bag, and he faulted it. Needn't I say more? Envy, the sin of the snake. Envy is what I would say is one of Nicholas's most apparent sin. Like greed, envy is characterized by an insatiable desire. However, the two sins differ for 2 main reasons. Firstly, greed is normally associated with the material wealth, whereas envy can be applied to other concepts, such as love or success, jealousy. Secondly, Those who commit the sin of envy desire something that is someone else has. Dante defined this as love of one's own good perverted to a desire to deprive other men of theirs. In Dante's Purgatory, the envious have their eyes sewn shut with wire. Gluttony, the sin of man. Gluttony is obviously Nicholas Perry's most apparent sin. His unsatiable hunger, his desire to have more, the constant mukbangs. Could it be any more obvious? It controls him. His every waking moment and every move is defined by his greed and gluttony that controls him. And he can't stop. Wrath, the sin of the devil. Everyone has it. We are all guilty of this sin. And Nikocado, Nicholas Perry, is no different. His constant freakouts, his lack of self-control, fits of rage, and involvement of others. He's no more guilty than we are. But does that change the fact he goes out of control? No. Sloth, the sin of all. No one is excused from this sin. No one. But no one's worse than Nick. This applies to him very well in the fact that he was very promising in his music career. And he wanted to do no more in his life except sit on a bed and eat food. It depresses me to know that he was especially talented. He had a life ahead of him. No longer. I hope this puts into perspective how YouTube mistreated him and how he was taken advantage of. And I'll allow you to watch this video once more.
2 steps ahead. I am always 2 steps ahead. This has been the greatest social experiment I've come to know. Certainly the greatest social experiment my entire life. It's alluring, it's compelling, it's gripping to bear witness, to observe all these unwell, unbalanced, disoriented beings roam the internet in search of stories, in search of ideas, of conflict, of rivalries, where people develop a distinctive desire for direct engagement, where people feel involved with the stories and therefore become product of influence, spoiling their minds while stimulating them at the exact same time. It's brilliant, but it's also dangerous. I feel as if my life has been positioned to where I'm monitoring ants. One follows another, follows another, follows another. It's mesmerizing. Just look at all these consumers, all of these lost and bored people consuming anything that they're told to consume. I am the villain. I make myself one. Today, I thought it would be a splendid idea to go out and get some food. Gee, are you surprised? Have you forgotten the story? Are you not paying attention? After all, you're here to consume, are you not?